Hello, I hope you're having a good day. We are the team number 1 and during this semester we're making the file list project. But what is file list? File list is a software project where people can be more organized and we were preparing it, trying to do it simpler in order to people to feel that they know how to use a program since they're born. Organizing clear, orderly, and efficient way the documents and files of a user as required by means of a software system is our objective with this software project.
Well then people, in the project of file list we're going to abord the problematic of the organization of files. This is something that everyone as a student, as a teacher, and some people in offices fight against. This is due to the amount of documents, files, images that we use in a day-to-day basis. We, as a team, decided to abort this problematic and find a solution with our program in order for us to make this easier for the people.
First sprint.
Now we will start with the requirements. This is the skeleton of the program itself and the foundation for the later parts of the project. That comes, for example, the design and the coding of the project. The beginning of this is something called user histories, which is what does the client wants us to do and what does the program needs to do in order to function correctly. Once we have this, we take this and we make the requirements that will be later on code into the program and will be the foundation for the later parts. In order to make the user histories, we first need to collect information. For this, for file list, we made a survey for different people to collect all the information and we analyzed the results of these surveys, which led to the creation of the user histories. Finally, we will talk about the user case diagram, which is how does the user is going to use this specific function of the program in their day-to-day basis. This is one part of the process.
Second sprint.
Now, for the next sprint of this project, the second sprint, we took all of the requirements, user histories, as well as the use case diagram and analyzed it again. We made another survey to collect more information for this project, and with all of that information, we redefined the requirements that we already had. This included as well the use case diagram and the user histories in order to match with the requirements that we already had. All of this in order to make the next steps and next sprints of this project easier to make and to have a better direction of what do we want for the project to be.
A requirement prioritization document was prepared in this sub-sprint into this phase to avoid setbacks and have greater progress with the following phases. Later, with the requirement prioritization document, we elaborate the resolution mapping table of those requirements with high priority. What does that mean? It's that document what we set and to have to the simplest and most systematic way of how it is that test, reference, and prioritized requirement should be developed in our simulation prototype. With this document finished, we finished our design phase by elaborating a document with mockup, in which we define colors and the prototypes typographed have a good user interface, taking care of sobriety, and about the garish colors that tire today. In this design phase, we also include the recreation of our own product image that was defined in a presentative image type.
During the process of our project, it was intended to make a prototype of our application, of which a free online application called Graphic Designer was used, which the free design has made. On the other hand, we had complication at the time of interaction, since the application does not have tools for this. So, it was decided to look for a new application to achieve it. We used Adobe XD application. So, this has various tools. In the same way, the same prototype has created based on the previous one. Layers were added with interaction of each element, for example buttons and transitions, to arrive at our final simulation. The requirements that we previously refined were taken as a reference, as well as the use of the mapping and the design tables of our prototype.
Third sprint.
As part of the three sprint, we carried out the test phase individuals in person with our prototype and Adobe XD. The results were satisfactory. We hoped that the user would mix with the prototype and its design in a agile way, but they certainly need improvements with the interaction of users to make it more agile and easier to understand. On the other hand, a survey was also carried out through Microsoft Forms, in which it was shared on social networks such as WhatsApp for some users to evaluate the visual aspect of the prototype. Certain improvements to the same design were proposed, such to determine what were our advantages and disadvantages according to what was done. The testing phase is important for the evaluation of your product and to be able to improve artifacts from both the design phase and the prototype phase. There is a document that speaks more clearly of the result obtained.
Hi, this is Adrian and I will be explaining you how all the organization was made on this project. First of all, our Scrum Master designed a plan to be executed for every team member. He assigned a role for every team member and everyone made their role successfully. To see what was happening with our team members' work, we were taking care of the GitHub repository on all the assessments they were working on. In our project repository, we assigned a branch for every team member and they were uploading their increments to their own branch for having evidence of their nice job. This was an effective way of working, so every individual working on a unique task had nothing to do with the other ones. And so, at the moment that everyone individually delivered their task, the project could be finished. At the beginning of our repository, at the README file to be specific, you can check what is our project about with some images of the software design made by Adobe XD. On the wiki slide, you can find a whole index where you can discover our documentation organized in order to see project files like images, prototypes, surveys, and all the work made by file list team members.
Team maintained organization and order with regard to the delivery of the activities. Everything was recorded in a table that records the participation throughout the activities, and the activities destined in the block were also recorded a little more specifically of activities carried out throughout the sprints. Throughout the completion of this project, we encountered various problems that we were solved through dialogue in our group meetings and through our group chat on WhatsApp. Group feedback also served as a tool for the refinement of our artifacts prepared for this project.
This project could not be done without our team members' effort and our Scrum Master. Thanks for the job of everyone, we could successfully present to you file list.